Hey everyone, Bob Thibodeau here. I just wanted to thank you for joining me today as we're going to be discussing using social media to grow your brand. Now, branding is very important. This is what the public perceives as your business or you or what you offer. The brand is basically how you are viewed by others. Okay, so that's your brand, and it's important because if your brand is poor, you have a poor representation out in the marketplace, not too many people are going to be coming to you for help. I mean, if your brand is one of, well, he does poor quality work, who's going to hire you? So your brand is everything, and that's why it's so important, which is the reason why we're doing this. Because the brand is really how the world views you, and then your product or your service. Your brand is what will help you to stand out from others in the crowd that are in the same niche or business that you are. So your brand can definitely help you in marketing. And the marketing aspect is more than just advertising. It's word of mouth, it's your reputation, and things like that builds your brand. Now, what you offer and the services you provide is part of that. But I want you to think along the lines of what other people think of you, okay? Not so much the advertising aspect. So how can you develop your brand? Well, the big question on that is, obviously social media is one way. Paid advertising is another. Facebook and, having a Facebook page and a Twitter account and a LinkedIn account. All of that is important, and we'll be covering some of those aspects in this training. But the big question is, who are you trying to reach? Okay? You can't say, well, I'm trying to reach everybody, because you've heard the adage, if you're trying to reach everybody, you actually reach nobody. You will make more money if you are a car mechanic. You will make more money if you specialize in, say, fixing the transmissions on Ford Mustangs, something like that. You'll make more money doing that than trying to promote yourself as general car mechanic. Nobody wants a general anything, right? Everybody wants a specialist. And if you get the reputation that you are the person to come to if you are having transmission problems with a Ford Mustang, people will come from all over to have you fix their car. Okay, you won't run out of business. So that's what I'm talking about. Who is it you're trying to reach? You need to zero that down to a specific niche. Now, since we're talking about podcasting and not fixing Ford Mustangs, if your podcast or product or service is about helping Group A, then everything you do is supposed to be about helping Group A. Again, if it's helping someone edit their show notes on podcasts, and that's what your service is about, it's not going to do you any good to go out and help people add video to a podcast if your specialty is doing the show notes. So you can help other people, that's not a problem, but you need to focus all of your effort on your niche market. All of it. I'm talking 100%. Other people from other groups can benefit from what you're doing. They might reach out, I understand that you do show notes. Can you help me load a video to my podcast or YouTube or whatever? And if you know how to do that, say, sure, I can help you with that. But you're focusing all of your effort on helping people with the show notes, or if you're into the video editing, you're helping everybody edit their videos, and then they ask if you can help them, with how to set up their show notes and all that. You can add that as a sidebar if you want, okay? But all of your effort needs to be on the group you're trying to help. As you get into helping people with other things other than your primary objective, do not stop focusing on Group A. Do not leave them alone to fend for themselves, think, okay, that aspect of the business is taking care of itself. I can grow my business by expanding this reach over here. I'm going to start video editing now. And you start focusing your efforts on the video editing, the people who have been relying on you for their show notes will start to go elsewhere, and you're actually going to lose business. And in doing so, your brand is going to hurt. Okay? There's nothing that's wrong to say, well, maybe, and this is a big maybe, you could do a little bit of marketing, maybe a Facebook post or something like that, I've helped some people with loading videos to their podcast and teaching them how to do video podcasting. If that's you, let me know and I can help you out there. But then your paid advertising should all go back to what your primary objective is. And so that is determine who you are trying to reach, and then determine what you are trying to do to help those in your target market. So we were just talking about doing the show notes. If that's what your specialty is, that's what all your advertising needs to be about, is helping people with their show notes. If you're trying to help someone increase their email or marketing list, well, don't worry about helping them to develop widgets for their company. Focus all of it on the marketing and increasing their email list and their client list and all that. You only need to focus on those things that will help your target market, your target audience, to develop their marketing list and their clients. That's the only thing you should focus on. Don't have 15 fingers going in the pie. One finger. At the most, one finger and maybe your pinky finger in the pie. But nothing else. Do not become distracted by all the other things. Well, so-and-so, they're making $1 million by doing video podcasting. And this guy's making $1 million and doing show notes. And this guy's doing $1 million and teaching all this stuff. I'm going to teach people how to do video podcasting and their show notes. I'm going to be the one that everybody comes to, and you'll have nobody. I'm being honest, folks. You need to focus. That's the major thing. If you have to explain in 3 or 4 sentences what it is you do, you're doing too much. You keep it down to 1 or 2 sentences at the most. All right. Then you need to develop a marketing plan for social media that talks about the pain points you are helping people with. Not a marketing plan, well, in my 5th year of doing business, I anticipate spending $100,000 on marketing, and we're going to do, no. What are you doing next week? What's the objective for the month? What is your 1-year plan? What are you doing this month to reach your 1-year plan? What are you doing this week to reach your monthly plan? What are you doing today to reach your weekly plan? What are you doing this very minute to accomplish your daily plan? That's how fine-tuned you need to work this, all right? Just like this training I'm doing right now. This wasn't something that, I planned, at our July Board of Directors meeting, I believe on this day I'll be doing this training. No, it's not that far out. This was something that I was asked, and I started putting together some information for someone, and then I decided, other people need to know this, and that's how this training got. Now, why am I doing it? To help the brand. My brand is helping people go from concept to launch and into monetization with their podcasts. See, one sentence. Concept to launch and into monetization. How do you monetize a podcast? You have to be well known. How do you become well known? You have to have a brand. And that's thus the brand training for this podcast training program that we're talking about today. All right. What are the pain points I'm helping people with? Concept. I don't know how to do it. I don't know the first thing I have to do. Not a problem. This is the first things you need to do. Well, okay, I've got that part done. I got everything set up. I just don't know how to market. Not a problem. Let's start talking about social media marketing. We're developing that as we go. Okay, it's a step-by-step process. But social media, helping you to grow your brand. Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. Those are the big 3. There's other ones out there. I'm not discounting them, but these are the big 3. If you're on Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn, you got probably 75% of the market captured right there. All right. Studies indicate, now I want you to understand this. Some people think, well, I'll just put my post out there, tell everybody what I'm going to do. Studies indicate the average post on Facebook, how long do you think it's going to be visible for? Are you ready? 5 hours. So you put a post out there at 8 o'clock in the morning. By lunchtime, that thing is buried so far down, nobody's going to notice it. All right? Now, that means if you're going to use Facebook as a primary method of marketing and branding your services, you need to post 4 or 5 times per day to establish your brand. And it's not just one day. This is a daily thing. If you go You do this for 2 or 3 months, and then you say, okay, well, that's enough now. I got my brand established on Facebook. And you go a week without posting, your brand is being just diluted down to nothing. Okay, this means 4 or 5 times a day as long as you want to be in business, maybe even more. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Now, let's talk about Twitter for a minute. There are 30 million daily active users in the United States on Twitter. 30 million people out there are on Twitter every single day just in the United States. That's awesome. However, 80% of the tweets you read are coming from 10% of the users. Think about that. 90% of the people on Twitter are not posting. And those who do usually will post twice per month. And what are the ones, if that's you, you're not really a poster on Twitter, what are the things you usually post about? Out to dinner with the family or something like that, right? That's not helping your brand, especially on Twitter. Because the average Twitter post, well, first, let's talk about this. The top 10% of Twitter users, right, that do 80% of the posting, the tweets, 5 times a day. 5 times a day. Because the average Twitter post will only last, now Facebook was 5 hours. How long do you think Twitter's going to be? How about 18 minutes? What? Yeah, 18 minutes. So if you post at 9 o'clock in the morning and then you got a break at 10:15, that tweet that you did is buried in people's their feeds. It's not even going to be read. Which means you need to post. If you're going to use Twitter to build your brand, you need to make 5 to 10 posts per day, minimum, on Twitter to build your brand. Minimum. It could be 20 posts per day on Twitter to build your brand. Okay? Now, let's talk about LinkedIn. This will round out the 3, and this one we're going to focus on today. The average post on LinkedIn remains active for almost 24 hours. Now that's impressive. Why is that? Because there's not as many people on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is, their mantra is people you know talking about the things you care about. All right? That's their mantra. Now, the answer is everything right there in that statement. It's people you know talking. People you know talking. What are they talking about? The things you care about. You understand that? Do you see that? Now, for the rest of this training, I'm going to focus strictly on helping you to understand LinkedIn. Now, the LinkedIn algorithm gives priority to personal connections based on personal interests. Look at that statement again. People you know. That's the connections. Talking about. There's communication going on. What are they talking about? Personal interests. The things you and they care about. When you focus on that, the LinkedIn algorithm kicks in. And it ranks its post on, guess what? People and connections. Now, you may follow famous people, but the LinkedIn algorithm will know if you are actually communicating with that person. Okay, let's say you had, you're following Oprah Winfrey on LinkedIn, and you're thinking, oh wow, I'm going to make this post, and a million people who are following Oprah Winfrey are going to see my post. No, they won't. LinkedIn will know if you are actually talking to Oprah Winfrey. If you're not talking to her and she's not communicating with you personally, the algorithm is not going to show your post to her feed. All right? You actually have to talk with that person. Now, LinkedIn considers who you've had direct interactions with. That could be through comments. You like a post on the you see on the feed, This person, you're not connected to them, but you see they post something that's interesting. You leave a comment, wow, this is really great. I never thought of this before. What a unique concept. I love it. And you like it, and then you share it with other people, maybe even add a smiley face or something like that to it. The algorithm picks this up. Oh, this person is interested in that type of thing. Okay, maybe we'll show some more things along this line to this person. And then if you do that a couple of times and you reach out to connect to that person and they accept it, you just can't let it go. All right? You need to start communicating because they will consider your profile interests. They'll consider what you have in your profile that you list as your skills. They'll consider people you work with in the same company and all things like that. These are the things that people will communicate about. Hey, did you see the training? Did you go to the training and the job we had, going on this week? No, I didn't have time to do that, and I was busy out at a business trip. Oh, where did you go? You're talking back and forth. The LinkedIn algorithm sees all that communication going on. It's going to raise your ranking. Okay, so we're talking about how the LinkedIn algorithm ranks posts. Next is interest and relevance. Interest and relevance. What is that? Well, it's based upon the groups that you are part of. If you're into football and you are in a group because a friend of yours is in a group on bowling and somehow you got added to the group, but you never interact with anybody in that group, you're not going to see any posts from anyone in that group except your friend. That's it. Okay. What hashtags are you using, if any at all? And who are the people that you are communicating with? Those are the things that the algorithm is going to look at. And when you're communicating with people, it's also going to look at the topics that you're discussing with each other. So it's not just, hey, Jack, how are you? I'm fine. That's not a communication. Yeah, it gives you a couple points for the conversation, but that is not talking about topics. Now, if you like a post or you make a post and you start talking with people, that's going to boost your score. Let's talk about for a second the Oprah Winfrey example I gave. Let's say you see she won some award, and she made a post on it, and you see the post. So you comment on it. Let's say the post was in your hometown, and you're like, I went to that. It was so nice seeing you accept your award. What a great speech, blah, blah, blah. And she just happens to see it and says, thank you so much. I'm glad that you were in the audience. It was good to talk to somebody that was in the audience or something like that. And then you make 3 or 4 comments, 3 or 4 exchanges back and forth. LinkedIn is like, whoa, Oprah Winfrey is talking to this person. Now we'll start showing, and it was about this award, okay? So we'll start showing other posts about that award to him, and if he comments from other people, and if he comments on that, we'll start showing his feed to them, including Oprah Winfrey's feed, and that's how you start getting points and start scoring that and getting your stuff out there. That's how the algorithm is working, okay? So it's based upon the groups that you're part of, the hashtags you use, and people and pages that you follow. Okay? So again, the Oprah Winfrey example. But it's also on the people you communicate with. So are you seeing a pattern here? Okay? The people you communicate with, the interest and relevance, and the probability of further engagement. So just because Oprah Winfrey says thank you to a comment you made, is that going to score you points? Yes. Is it going to score you access to the people who are following her feed? Probably not. Because just, congratulations on your award. Thank you. And that's it. There's no further communication. The algorithm says, the probability of further engagement is quite low with this one. Right? That's why it's important to leave comments. When they comment back, you comment again. When they comment to that comment, you do it again. Then maybe share a link with them to another post, or if you see them, let's say, we'll just use the award with Oprah Winfrey. You see a post or a link from that awards organization, and it mentions Oprah Winfrey's name, all that, maybe shows the video where she gave her acceptance, you share that link with her and her feed, and then she comments on that, the probability of further engagement continues to rise. You're communicating back and forth. It shows interest on her part and your part. It shows relevance because you're talking about something that she has excelled at and received an award for, and other people are commenting on that, and the probability of further engagement. Now, that probability of further engagement does not mean just with her. It means other people who are commenting on her post as well. Okay? The algorithm ranks the probability of further engagement, and the LinkedIn algorithm looks mainly at two areas here. Two areas to judge that. The likelihood you will comment, share, or react to a post, and it's based upon how you reacted to such posts in the past. Okay? If you've been commenting and things on different awards programs, you're going to see more and more of those. And who you have reacted the most frequently with. Okay? So when you comment, share, and react to a post, just don't make it one person. You got to go across the full spectrum. If we'll go back to podcast training. I'll use my example. I'm in training people on how to do podcasts. So if I only talk to one person who's interested in podcast training and that's it, the LinkedIn algorithm is not going to score me very high as the probability of further engagement and interest and things like that. But if I'm talking to 25 people about podcasting and I'm carrying on a conversation with all 25 people about podcasting, and I'm commenting on their links, they're commenting on mine, the probability of further engagement is quite high, right? So the likelihood is that if they show me somebody else's feed, I will comment, share, or react to the post as well. Okay? So that's what I'm talking about there. But then there's the timely feedback to what LinkedIn calls content creators. That's the people who are doing the post. Basically, after the post is published, the faster it starts to have the interaction, the more likely LinkedIn will include it in other people's feeds. Okay, if you make a post at 8 o'clock in the morning and nobody comments on it all day long, and then your mother clicks on it and likes it and gives a little smiley face at dinner time, the likelihood that post is going to go anywhere is quite low. But we'll just use the Oprah Winfrey example again. If you made that comment on her award post at 8 a.m. and she commented back at 8:15, and somebody else commented on it at 8:20, and you commented back on hers and the other person's at 8:30, we have fast interaction going on, and that post is going to go farther and farther and be shared with more and more people, which includes what? Your comment. And as other people like and make a comment, you should go down and like their comments and comment on what they're saying, and then they will thank you for that, and you carry on conversation. If you carried on a conversation with 100 people that were on Oprah Winfrey's group that is liking her post, and there's this conversation taking place between you and 100 people, the likelihood is LinkedIn is going to share your information with their people, those 100 people, and some of their second level people. So now there might be 1,000 people seeing your posts. And it's all based really on that one award post. You see how this goes? This is what the algorithms are doing. Okay? So how can you improve your LinkedIn marketing? First, as we said, know your audience. Who is it you're trying to reach? What is your audience interested in? And what formats are the favorite for your audience to engage with? Is it video? Is it audio only? Is it written form? Like blog posts and things like that. You can do ebooks and PDFs if that's how most people engage. So let's talk about methods of engaging with your audience. A lot of people just will get on, they do the same thing. Okay, they'll get on, they'll type something and hit post. And that means it's text only. But if you just add a picture a picture of what you are doing, a picture of, if you are posting on fixing a banquet dinner, and it's just, okay, folks, I'm here and I'm cooking smoked brisket and homemade baked beans tonight, and it's just text, you might go, yeah, nice, something like that. But that's it. But if you post an image of it, smoking on the grill, and then another image later where it's on the table, that image will get you twice the engagements. Twice the engagements. And if you posted a video about how you're doing it, and just a short video, maybe 30 seconds to a minute long, right? That gets 5 times the comments and engagements. A video gives you 5 times the probability of engagements, and the more engagements you get, then the higher your relevancy score will go. That's what LinkedIn calls your relevancy score. I'll explain that in a second. But just text only, not very much relevancy there, is there? An image will get you double the comments. A video gets you 5 times the comments and engagement, which means you now have 5 times the people you can communicate with. And if you have 5 times the community you can communicate with, and you're doing the communication, that's more people that the algorithm says, oh, we need to show them more of your stuff, right? But you need to promote your posts on LinkedIn. Now, how do you promote posts on LinkedIn? Well, one way is paid ads, of course. That can get rather expensive. It gets expensive very quickly, right? A better way is to tag relevant parties to the post. What does that mean? Well, let's say you're doing a post on, we'll say the brisket. We'll just use that as an example. And you know that some of the people you work with love your smoked brisket, right? You've taken it to office functions before, and people are taking leftovers home, but not your brisket, right? I've been there. I know what that's like. And you're gonna tag so and so and so and so and so and so, 3 people from your office or from your workplace that love your brisket. And you're like, are you guys jealous because this is what I'm eating tonight? And then they start talking back and forth on that. That is how you get relevant parties to see your post, because it's going to pop up in their feed. So and so tagged you on this post, and they click on it to see what it's about. Oh, he made his brisket again. Wow, man, when are you going to make me some? When are you going to do it? And then you answer that, and you got this interaction and communication going on. Your score, your relevancy score is just climbing with every interaction. Okay. Another way is hashtags. Hashtag smoked brisket. Anybody who has smoked brisket in their profile, anything like that, it's going to show up in their feed as long as they're connected to you. So you may have 500 connections, and 25 of them that you really haven't been talking to much, they at some point put down a hashtag smoked brisket. That one post will be sent to all 25 of those people. Okay? If you got 500 people or more in your LinkedIn profile as connections, and 100 of them at some point enjoyed some smoked brisket, that post will be sent to all 100 of them. And then when they like, wow, yeah, it's been a while since I had smoked brisket. I need to go get me some more of that. And then you start commenting and engaging with them. Where do wow, I can't believe you went a year with no smoked brisket. If I don't have it at least once a month, I start getting withdrawals or something. They laugh, and you're getting that conversation going. Your relevancy score increases. Okay, so you can also take your LinkedIn post and share it on other social media, right? Your Facebook page, your Twitter account. You can take that link to your LinkedIn post and put it on those other platforms. Someone on those other platforms sees it, clicks on it. What does it do? It takes them to your LinkedIn post. And then they comment on it and like it, something like that. And if they just comment on it on, say, Facebook or on Twitter, that increases your algorithm score on those platforms. But today we're just talking about increasing your algorithm score on LinkedIn. But in order to view it, they got to click on it, and that takes them to your LinkedIn post. which LinkedIn likes because now you're drawing people from outside of LinkedIn into LinkedIn, right? And that's what makes them happy when you do things like that. So with LinkedIn, you need to post when the time is right. Well, when's the right time to post on LinkedIn? Well, according to Hootsuite, Hootsuite's data says the best time to post on LinkedIn is 7:45, 10:45, that's a.m., 12:45 p.m., and 5:45 p.m. Why not just say 8 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 1 o'clock, and 6 o'clock? Because the data says it's the 7:45, the 10:45, the 12:45, and the 5:45. That's what their data says. Why? Think about the majority of people who are going to work in the morning. Their start time is 8 o'clock. A very wise person will not just show up at 8 o'clock when that's when they're supposed to be starting work. You know, my wife gets mad at me because I don't just believe in the 15-minute early rule, which would be arriving at work at 7:45. I give myself an extra 15 minutes on that just in case there's traffic. So I try to arrive a half hour ahead of whatever I'm scheduled to be at, because there have been times when there's an accident, something like that, and I got to take a detour, and I get there at 7:55 instead of 7:30. If everything goes smooth, I'll get there at 7:30, 7:35. By the time you walk in, get a cup of coffee, sit down at the desk or wherever you need to be, it's 7:45. Well, you still got 15 minutes. What will most people do in that 15 minutes? Get on social media. Just to check. Just to clear out their email box, personal email box. And get on social media and see what's happening. So if there's a brand new post from you on LinkedIn that pops in right at 7:45 in the morning, and this person jumps on at 7:47, whose post is going to be in the top of their feed? Yours. How about the 10:45? Well, a lot of people, that's when they come back from their first break or getting their first break. And they've used the restroom, got a cup of coffee, they got 2-3 minutes, they jump back on social media, and whose post are they going to see first? Yours. Same thing when coming back from lunch. What about the 5:45? That's when they get home. They get home and they've had dinner, sitting down, let me see what's going on social media. Jump on the computer real quick, and whose post are they going to see when they check LinkedIn? Yours, because it's fresh, it's right there. Those are the best times to post on LinkedIn. But again, that's a generalized statement. So you need to double check that those times work for your audience. All right? If your audience is the people who work midnights listening to whatever radio programs and stuff like that go on overnight, I'm not going to give them a plug or anything like that, because when I was working midnights as a cop, I used to listen to them too. But if your audience is that niche, then it's not going to work for you to post at 11 o'clock in the morning. Perhaps it's 10:45 p.m. for your audience. Okay, so you need to adjust those times per your niche. Okay, so let's talk about summarize what we've talked about so far. You need to complete your personal profile, your personal page as completely as you can. Just don't put your name and an email address on it. It needs to be complete. That your skills, your likes, your background, your jobs you've had, the complete LinkedIn profile. LinkedIn was meant as a way for business people to connect with other business people and possibly to find jobs. Okay? You put your profile on there, someone sees it, and you're, wow, if you're ever looking for a job, come see me type thing, right? So it needs to be complete. The algorithm is designed to really maximize the relevancy scores of those whose profile is complete or pretty close to it. And then you have to keep it updated. Don't just post it once and forget about it, and 3 years later go back and say, oh, you know what? I forgot. I got promoted over here, and I forgot that I've gotten this certification. Keep it updated. The more you keep it updated, every time you freshly put stuff on your profile, your relevancy score goes up. And add connections, people you know or think would be interested in seeing updates from you, and people that you would like to see updates from them. If you have a company, encourage your employees to indicate they work at your company and use your corporate hashtag, because every time they connect with someone, that hashtag gets shared underneath the algorithm with everybody they're connecting to, which will help grow your business. Be sure you follow others and attract people to follow you. These are different than connections. Followers are different than connections. Okay? People that you follow, you're not really connected with, but you can comment on their posts and they can comment on yours. The connections mean you can send them messages, and every time you post, it comes to them. If it's relevant, if the relevancy score and the algorithm are connecting, that's your connections. But be sure you follow people. Okay? Participate in LinkedIn groups, or if you can't find one that's in your niche, make your own group and put hashtags out there. Promote it. People start joining it. And if you're in the group, don't ruin it by trying to sell them stuff. You're there to add value. You're there to connect and have conversations. Do not go posting, "Hey folks, I'm new to this group and I got, a podcast training program and you can join my podcast training group at this link." Number one, you probably get banned from the group. Number two, you may get banned from LinkedIn. But number three, nobody's going to want to talk to you if the first thing they hear out of your mouth as part of the group is "buy my stuff." No, communication, folks. That's what the whole point of this training is about. Communication. Give and receive recommendations. Hey, I see that, you're having a question. Let's say you're part of a podcast training group or a podcasting group, and someone posts something on there about, "I'm just starting a podcasting, and what's the best kind of microphone to buy?" Well, don't say, "Well, I got I think it's this one here. This is my affiliate link. You can buy it here." That's not going to work. Okay. What you need to do is give them, it depends on what kind of computer you have. Are you looking at using just a headset because you're just getting started, you're trying to keep your expenses a little lower? Do you want a good quality desktop microphone? So you need to ask questions. You're providing value, giving recommendations. Don't put affiliate links in there, right? Don't try and make a buck off this. You're there to give value. And the more value you give, the more communication is going back and forth. Other people may say, "Oh yeah, that's a great recommendation on that microphone. I forgot all about that one." And then you're starting to communicate with that person as well. That increases your relevancy score. Okay? So make sure your profile is public, not private. Let people find you. Let people add you to their connections. Let people see your posts. That's what this is all about, is expanding your contacts, which increases your relevancy score, which increases the amount of communication back and forth, which increases the visibility of your profile to other people. All right? Again, be sure you join conversations. Be active on LinkedIn. Okay? Generally, that doesn't mean you need to be on there, 23 out of 24 hours a day. I usually get on my LinkedIn profile maybe twice a day for maybe 10 to 15 minutes. So you're talking half an hour a day. All right? If you're part of groups, you need to be on that group, I would say at least 5 to 10 minutes every day, commenting, liking, sharing. If you have so many groups that you can't do your entire LinkedIn update in 1 hour a day, you're part of too many groups. You need to thin the herd. Okay? Because there's no way, if you're part of 15 different groups, there's no way you can carry on conversations with the people in 15 other groups. Maybe 3. Cut it back and let them find you. Because you have to understand, this is all about the communication. This is all about you interacting with other people. And if you have so many people in your groups and so many groups in your profile that you can't communicate with them, this algorithm is going to kill your score. And your score is what's going to show the algorithm that they need to share your post with other people. So keep it small. Okay? Promote your LinkedIn pages on your website. Make sure they can, if they're on your website, and you say, communicate with me, you got your Facebook icon there that connects to your Facebook page. You got your Twitter one that connects to it. You got your LinkedIn one that connects to your LinkedIn page. Make it easy for people to find you. Okay. And if you wanted to put your LinkedIn profile, if you're in business and you're passing out business cards or newsletters and things like that, it's okay to put your LinkedIn communications link, where they can click straight to your profile on those items. Another good place that a lot of people do not, they just haven't thought about it, is when you're sending emails, set up a signature. So every email goes out has a standard signature, and include your LinkedIn profile, your Facebook profile, all those links, Twitter, so people can, oh wow, he's on, okay, yeah, let me click over here. Who knows, it may start an interaction which increases your score. And you can use a customized URL. You don't have to have that long https://linkedin.com / your name with 17 digits after it. Right? You can just make a URL that says, like mine. My LinkedIn URL is Bob Thibodeau Speaks. Okay, and that because it started off as a speaker page. So that is my customized URL. So that's what you can do. Okay, I hope you got a lot out of this training today, because it's so important that when you use LinkedIn properly, that algorithm is going to boost your relevancy score. That relevancy score is what's going to get you the interaction. It's going to establish your brand. People are going to know you're an expert in this area, and they'll start asking you questions. I get asked questions all the time on LinkedIn, and I don't try and sell them anything. There are links on my profile that takes them to the training program. I've had people sign up for the training program because of my interactions on LinkedIn, but I have yet tried to sell anybody anything on LinkedIn. I'm there. If they have a question about what microphone to use, I'll give them a link to a training I did that talks about microphones, right? So there's no selling going on there. It's just providing value to them. That's what builds your brand. LinkedIn is excellent for building your brand, and I hope that you have gotten that out of this training today. Now, next time, we're going to talk about the Facebook algorithm, okay? Yes, I understand the Facebook algorithm. It changes all the time, but, from where I'm at right now, let's say if we take the algorithm and this includes LinkedIn, Twitter, all the algorithms. If we take an algorithm at 100%, this is the algorithm today. Next week, next month, next year, might be 85% correct. They're going to tweak some things. They do it, if not on a daily basis, probably on a weekly basis. They're always tweaking their algorithm. The point is, 85% of the time, everything we just shared with you today and everything we'll be talking about on the Facebook algorithm are going to be relevant. All right? And depending on the time, next time, I'll probably do training on Twitter. If I don't have enough time when I do the Facebook one, then I'll just do a separate training just on the Twitter algorithm. Because all of these platforms, remember, Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn are the big three. If you're on those three platforms, you're using them properly. By properly, I mean according to what their algorithm is looking for, you will grow your brand. And when you grow your brand, you'll grow your list. You grow your list, the money's in the list. You grow your list, your customer list, you'll generate additional income for your business. All right? So you can also do those posts. Remember we talked about all those posts? Let's talk about that for a second. Those posts, remember, at least 5 posts per day on Facebook, right? 10 minimum on Twitter, probably closer to 20. So that means 25 posts there, and at least 5 posts per day on LinkedIn, right? So you're looking at 30 posts. And I'm not talking about posting the same thing. I'm talking about posts. Now, you can post those things manually if you have time to make 30 posts every day, individual posts every day, and post them all over the place. Or you can invest platforms that will auto-post for you. Now, Hootsuite is a popular platform for doing that, and it costs about $29 a month. And it's a good platform if you know how to use it. It'll take you a while to learn how to use it properly. Zapier is another platform that is popular out there, and it's about $25 per month. And it has several tasks you can do on a monthly basis. You can Google it. There's numerous applications out there that'll help you do that. And some are more complicated than others, and some are more expensive than others. Okay, you can spend a lot of money just on these platforms. I don't know about you, but you know, only you can decide what will work for you. Okay, I can't decide that for you. I know I don't have a lot of time to learn new things and taking the time to set all these different platforms up. Like Hootsuite, you might have to set it up on a daily, weekly, monthly basis type thing. I don't have time for all that. So what I'm about to share with you works for me. Okay, it's up to you to decide whether or not it works for you. It's called Social Bee and allows you to post one time, make one post, and then it sends your post out to all the different platforms. One post, and it sends it out to LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook. You can do Instagram, all that stuff. And it formats for the different platforms for you automatically. So you don't have to go in Hootsuite and format for Twitter and format for Facebook and format for LinkedIn. Social Bee formats them all. You make one post and it is automatic. It you can say I want it to go to these three platforms. When it sends it that link to those three platforms, it's all automatically formatted for you. Okay. But more important to me is you can also set it to do repeat posts as frequently as you would like them sent out. It won't do it every day unless you are just starting off and you only have like 5 posts in there, and you want it to post 20 times a day, then it will have to repeat it, right, on a daily basis. But let's say you get 100 posts in there over the course of a month, and you have it posting 8 times a day on each of those platforms, we'll just say. It will rotate. It'll do whatever post is primary for that day. The first one you post in the list, boom, it'll go out. Next, it'll go one from yesterday, if that's how you say. You could have it do the opposite, from newest to oldest to newest. But it'll rotate them. It'll just grab them and put them out there. So people are seeing these posts. They're all different, but they're all branding your brand. They're marketing your brand to people, and you're getting interaction. Because some people who seen your post 3 weeks ago may not comment on it today, but people who missed it 3 weeks ago will see it today, and they're going to comment on it, and then you can carry on conversations with them. Okay. Like I say, it's called Social Bee, and that's the main reason I chose this platform. Okay, because you've seen how often you have to post different social media platforms to build your brand. With Social Bee, the more content you load, the more it will repeat those posts for you automatically. Okay, I mean, if you load 100 podcast episodes or 100 posts, and you tell it to post to Facebook 10 times a day, it'll begin, like I said, by posting your most recent post. It'll do that 2-3 times. You indicate how many times you want to do so. And then it will randomly, or you can specify, send past posts from your profile out to the platforms you designate. You may want them all to go to Twitter instead of LinkedIn. You may want half of them to go to LinkedIn, half to Facebook. Whatever you designate, that's what it's going to do. And you tell it what times to post it. Hello, 7:45 a.m., 10:45 a.m., 12:45 p.m., and 5:45 p.m. You can tell it that's the time I want you to post to LinkedIn, right? So that's what I love about Social Bee. It's so easy to use, okay? And that's the main reason I chose the platform. So if you can't post an update or you don't have new content for a couple of days, say you go on vacation, not a problem. Your social media profiles will not be repeating the same individual post that was the last one you posted over and over and over again, okay? It's awesome. It's an awesome platform. And they do it for $19 a month. It's great value, in my opinion. Again, this is what works for me. And you need to check it out and see if it works for you. But you can connect all your social media platforms up to 5 on this $19 a month plan. That means Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Pinterest. Let's say you can connect up to 5 different platforms. I got a couple of different Facebook pages, plus Twitter, plus LinkedIn. So that's how I fill mine out. But you get up to 5 social media platforms, all at that $19 a month program. Okay. Now, this is an affiliate link. I'm telling you straight up, it is an affiliate link. Okay. It does not change the price you would pay directly. You go straight to their website, sign up for it. It's $19 a month. Okay. You've heard me say in these training programs before, if it's an affiliate link, I'll tell you. If I'm not saying it's an affiliate link, it is not an affiliate link. I believe in total transparency on this. That's why I have this in bold. This is an affiliate link. Again, it does not change the price you pay directly. You know how much I give away value and how much I try and sow into people's lives. So, if I could, out of that $19 a month, if you decide to sign up through this link, it'd be a blessing to me. I only get like $1.50 or something like that. But, every little bit helps, right? And when you do the same thing with people in your group, and I can't guarantee it, but I am highly encouraged to say that you will probably get so hooked on using social bee, and people will start asking you. They've already asked me, how do you post so many times? I see posts at 3 o'clock in the morning from you. Why am I doing it? Because different time zones around the world, right? But you can share your affiliate link with them and start getting some income, residual income from that as well. Okay, but if you click on that link, it'll take you to Social Bee where you can sign up. At least check it out because the information they have on there is great. The videos they have are great. But folks, I've been doing this a long time. I've used Hootsuite. I've used Zapier. This platform is so much simpler to use, in my opinion. And in my opinion, it works a lot better. Okay, so that's something for you to look at. Okay, like I said, next time, Facebook algorithm. Depending on the time, I may talk about Twitter. All right, that's all the time I have for today. And I want you guys to remember, keep talking because you guys are awesome.